my channel to things. Today in this video we are going to see C Sharp arrays. So as you know, we started C Sharp tutorials. As you know, C Sharp is a programming language, so which was developed by Microsoft that runs on .NET framework. So when you are working on the .NET kind of thing, it is mandatory to learn the C Sharp programming language. So we are using W3 schools. The main advantage of using this website is where you can practice any of the example at that particular instant only when you are learning those concepts. So whenever you go into tutorials, there you will get list of all the courses this is offering. So here you can scroll down, there you can find learn C sharp in the programming kind of thing. So learn C sharp, when you click on that, this particular page will be open up. So here we have covered all these concepts before to this part. So now we are in the C sharp arrays. So we are going to see how to what is meant by arrays and single dimensional arrays and multi-dimensional arrays, and what are the looping kind of thing present in arrays, like how to loop those arrays through an array. So we are going to see, and also some methods are there, like to sort the array to get the minimum value or maximum value from that array. So all these are the methods which are available to do operations on arrays, mathematical operations on arrays. So these all about the things which are going to discuss in this video. So don't skip any part. Watch this video till end so that you will get clarity on how to use arrays in C sharp. So similar to the other programming languages, how we have in C, similar kind of things will present here also. Like you know, right? Creating an array, basically array is used to store multiple values in a single variable. Like instead of going creating a variable each and every time when you want to store data which is of similar data type, so it will be very difficult to manage all those variables. So at that time what you can do is you can replace that thing with an arrays, like to declare an array where you can have multiple similar data type values into into an array kind of thing. So here is the syntax for that. Here is of a string which is of a array type, which is the name of that variable is cars. Here we are just defining but not assigning any value to this string array. So it's a string array which variable name is a cars. To declare an array, we should define a variable type with square brackets, and it will be considered that as array. So now we have declared a variable that holds an array of strings. So now we have to insert values into this array which we have already declared. So how we have to do that is we have to place a values by a comma separated list inside a curly braces. We should have a curly braces. So this is a string type. So one string we have to write and a comma separated list we have to mention here. So then that will be inserted into this particular string array. So like this we can assign values to a string array. To create an array of integer type, the type we have to give and square brackets that tells that this is a integer type array. A name of that is my num is equal to, we can assign directly values, or either you can declare once or after you can initialize within values. So 10, 20, and 30, 40, these are the integer arrays. So now we are declared and initialized, we have seen, right? So string arrays and integer arrays. Now accessing of elements in array, how to access that particular element. For example, if I declare variable, afterwards we have to use that variable at some place based upon the requirement. Similarly, we can also access the elements which are present in an array, like whether maybe the string array or integer array, we can access the array elements by referring to the index number. So we'll have some indexes numbers to this whatever the array which we have created. Here the indexes will start from 0 to how many elements it will have, like it will go on increment will increase for each and every element, like index will be incremented for each and every element which is present in that array. So this statement accesses the value of elements which are present in the cards. So you can see here is a string array which are cars. We have some values there like Volvo, BWM, Ford, and Mazda. So here see console dot write line they have written as cars of 0. So 0 indexed value we are fetching here. So like this we can access. We have to give the name of the variable and we have to use square brackets. In that we have to mention the index number. So if index starts from 0, so 0 you will get Volvo as output. So whenever you give 1 you will get BWM. So BMW likewise. You can try this example. The W3 Schools website is a website where you can have a try editor where you can try any of the example and just edit the example, and whenever you just click the run, the resultant output will come here. So BWM likewise you can get any value in this format. So this is all about accessing the elements in an array. So not only the string arrays, but you can also do the same accessing concept will be same for any kind of array, that may be integer array likewise. So array start in index starts with 0, you have to keep it in mind. So if you want the first element, you have to use array of 1, 0, array of next array name and bracket open, and array of 1, like that, so on you have to use. So in that purpose. So next, changing an array element. For example, if you want to update an array element, like if I don't want this first one will be a Volvo, I want to add other name into the, like you can update that array list or change the specific element array, you can do like by referring the index number. So for example, if cards of 0 is already having a Volvo, I'm not accessing that, but I am adding this value in that place. So we can change the array element also. Here you can see the example. So you can try the here. So see, whatever the example which we have now here, what I am doing is I'm just updating this first one value. So as what value they are updating as openal. So this is the value I'm updating. So whenever I display the name of, so whenever I'm accessing, you can see after updating also I'm accessing. The value will differ or not, we'll see. So like that we can change the values by using index, and also we can fetch the values or access the values from the elements through this indexing. So the syntax will be like this: name of that array and next square brackets. There we have to specify the index. So now one more thing, like that is array length. You can find out you can find out how many elements are present in a particular array, like by using length property. So the name of the array name and dot length. So whenever you use this dot length property, you will get the length here. So four elements are there. The length will be 4. Index will start from 0. So in up to 0, 1 to 3 index will be there, but whenever it comes the length will be the number of elements present in that particular array. So you'll get 4. So likewise you'll get length, cars dot length. Whenever you print that thing, you will get the length here. So I will show you that also. So length is not a method, but it's a property. So dot length you have to write like this. So whenever you write like this, you will get 4. The 4 number of elements are there in the particular array. So same will happen with the integer kind of array also. So another ways to create an array. Not only one way to create an array, there are the other ways also. Like you can create an array with the 4 elements and add values to it later. So you can tell that this is a 4 elements type of array. You can add the values later, like that you can do. You might see arrays created with a new keyword, like perhaps you have seen arrays with specified size as well. In C Sharp, there are different ways to create an array. For example, if you are telling the user this array of four elements like that, then you have to use this kind of syntax like string array. A name of that array where is equal to new string of 4. It will have 4 elements like this. You can add it later. So declaration you can do by using new keyword. So creating an array of 4 elements and add values right away. So after creating, you can add directly values. New string of 4, you can give the name of that. So without new keyword also you can do the same. So here you can see create an array of 4 elements, omitting the new keyword, and without specifying the size also you can mention. Or if you want to specify the size also, it will be okay. You can follow this kind of syntax. So this also is there. Create an array of 4 elements without specifying the size. So without specifying the size, by using new keyword, you can also create array by this. So these are the 4 ways to create an array. Either you can use new keyword and also mention the size of the array, and next you can use new keyword and mention the size of the array, and you can also initialize the array. You can give the values at that instant only. Next you can specify that no need to specify the how much size it is, but you can directly assign the values by using new keyword. And you can also do the same without new keyword and also without specifying the size of the array. So this is up to you which option you choose. So in in this tutorial we will often use the last option, like without specifying size and also without specifying new keyword. So without specifying size, what will happen means other time when we update, you can easily update. Like however, you should note that if you declare any array and initialize it later, you have to use the a new keyword. So see, whenever you do like declared, once you have declared and you want to initialize that thing later, then it will be done by using new keyword itself. So without new, you can't use that will cause an error, because you are telling that it is of a new string array, so which is of no need to specify the size, you have to use new keyword there. So without new keyword it will throw an error. So you have to keep it in mind this point, like if you want, if you have declared once and you want to initialize it later but you are not initializing at that particular instant, then you have to use new array for sure. You don't have to miss that, otherwise it will cause an error. So this is all about arrays initialization, and what are the types, how you have to use new keyword, and also specifying the size of an array we have seen. So you can practice this exercise and let me know whether you have given correct answer for this or not. Let's see the other thing. So that is looping through arrays, like how to loop arrays, like if you want to access each and every element of present in an array without writing each and every time that indexing, like accessing elements by looping an array, so that will reduce the lines of code. You can loop an array elements by using for, or also you can use for each. So you can use length property to specify how many number of times the loop should run. So this many time number of times you have to repeat this looping. So this is the example which we can see where I have a string array which is having four elements, and we have for loop where int I is equal to 0, from where we are initializing I is equal to 0 integer type, and the condition we have written is up to the length of that string array, that is cast dot length, up to the length we have to loop this array where and then I is incremented. So here we are using cars index value as I. So whenever from 0 we index is starting, so 0th index first element we will fetch, and after incrementing we are doing, so second element will fetch, third element will fetch. So whenever I values comes to length, right, 4, whenever I value comes to 4, you will not have an index 4, right, up to 3 index will be there. So whenever 3 is less than 4, right, so up to that condition only it will satisfy, so you can able to fetch all the elements. So looping through an arrays can be done like this. So I will try this example so that you will understand better. So here cars is there, whenever I looping, here you can see all the elements are fetched. If I have given, if I start from 1, you don't get the first element because cards of 0 is not present actually there. So you see three values are getting, so you have to include from 0 because the index will start from 0. So to get the first value you have to start your looping from 0. So as of index of 0 it will be the first index. So next, as similar to that, we have for each also. So for each is a kind of thing to loop, and to loop through an arrays which like how many times it had to be looped. So for each is a kind of thing which is basically especially used in kind of arrays. So type you have to mention which type of array it is, and next which type of array, I mean the elements which are present in the array of which type we have to mention, and variable name we have to mention, how you are using I or item, likewise any identifier name you can use. And in array name, in which array we are going to loop, you have to write this, you have to follow this syntax for each. So here is the example. So cards is a one of the string array we have using for each, which is of a string type, and I in cards. So each and every element we can fetch directly. So no need. This is I is not an index here, as we have seen for in the case of for looping. Here you can see I is not an index, but I is an item present in the cards. To loop the items present in the cards array, we have to use for each. Here no, directly you can access the item in the I variable. So you can see this example also, so you can understand. So see, all elements are fetching here. So you can observe the difference here. We are using indexing kind of thing to access the element from an array by using for loop. So whenever you comes into for each loop, here type, and we have to give item I. So in which array, cars array, here each and every element we are looping. So directly with I value we'll get the item value there. So this is the example we have read for each element where I is as index in cars. So print out of I. If you compare for loop and for each loop, you will see that for each loop method is easier to write. It doesn't require a counter. Using length property, it is more readable also. So you can see what are the things which we have extra in for, when compared to for each is we are using length property here, and next indexing kind of thing. So all these things we are not required here as of now. So where here we have a string element I is as in index in cards. So you can print I value, so directly that will get the value of that element. So this is all about looping to an array. Next we have some methods related to arrays. Let's see that. So sorting an array, there are many array methods which are available. For example, sort is there, which will sort an array alphabetically or in an ascending order. So cards is a string variable where array dot sort, we have to use the class, the sort method which is present in the class called as array. So array dot sort, we have to mention that array, which array we have to sort, like that cards array. So after sorting, whenever you print that, you will get in order. So sort an integer type also you can sort, so it will take an ascending order. Whenever it comes to string, it will take an alphabetical order. So you can try these examples. You can see bwm will become fmb. Here sorting is done. So here also sorting is done, 1 5 8 9 ascending order. So array is the class name where you will have a sort method here. So this is all about sorting, kind of a method which are present in used well kind of when you are dealing with arrays. So next, to not only sort, we have some link you namespace. In this system dot link you namespace, we have different methods actually. So here you can see the other useful array methods such as min method, max method, some can be found in this namespace. So whenever you have included this namespace, you can use all these methods which are present in the particular namespace. So as you told now, namespace is one of the a collection of classes. In that classes, we have some methods like this. So here you can see integer array is there, my numbers. So I want to get the maximum out of that integer array, I can use max method. If I want to get the smallest number, I can use min method. If I want to get sum of all the elements, I can use sum method there. So let's see this example here. See, 1 5 8 9 will be the numbers where you'll get maximum number is 9 and minimum number will be 1 and sum is 23. Like this you have to give number and directly we can give the value there. Sorry, method name. So method name will be indicated like this, right? You have to give brackets, otherwise it will not consider that as a method. So this is the syntax for getting max, min and sum values by using system.linQ namespace. So like this you can sort and you can use this kind of namespace. So next, we one more thing which we have left in the concept of arrays is multidimensional arrays. Now, up to now, we have seen single dimensional arrays, like how to do operations, loopings, and how to declare, how to initialize them, how to use sorting and other methods for that arrays, like all these things we have seen. Now let's see about multidimensional arrays. So basically multidimensional arrays is an array of arrays. So we call it as array of arrays, like not only in a normal way. Here you will have a 2D dimensional arrays. Like arrays can be of any number of dimensions. The most common are two-dimensional arrays. So you can also have a three-dimensional arrays also after this two-dimensional arrays. So to create a 2D array or two-dimensional array, what we have to do is add each array with its own set of curly braces and insert comma inside the square brackets. So like this, the syntax will be like this. So how you have done with the single dimensional array, same thing will happen while initializing or declaring here, but you have to give comma in the square brackets so that it will consider that this is an two-dimensional array. If you give two commas there, then it will consider that as a three-dimensional array. It is good to know this point. You have to remember while declaring the two-dimensional arrays. Now coming to assigning values. So assigning values can be done like, first you have to give one set of curly braces and next we have to give comma and after you have to give second set of curly braces. So the numbers which we are giving in an array, how it will order or how it will take place can be understood by seeing this diagram. You can see this diagram. So numbers now in an array are two dimensional as its own. The first array elements contains elements 1 4 2. So while the second array elements will contain 3 6 8. To visualize it, think of the array as a table to with columns and rows. You can think like this array will be a columns and rows. So this will be the columns, first of all, and second thing will be the second row with the three columns. Likewise you can understand, like the ordering or storing information can be done in this format. So 1 4 2, you just see this example so that you will understand. 1 4 2 will be the first row and 3 6 8 will be the second row, so which has three columns. So accessing of these 2D-dimensional array can be done or understood by this diagram only. Like if you want to access this element, you have to tell that zero throw column zero element, like how you will tell. So same in the similar way you can access likewise only. So in the x-axis or y-axis, like how you will do it in a normal 2D, like similar way rows and columns you have to consider here. To access an element in the two-dimensional array, you should specify two indexes here, not only one index, but here you have to give two index, one for the array and other for the element inside that array. So it is better with the table visualization in the mind, one of the rows and one of the, you whenever you think of these rows and columns, it will be easy for you to get the or access the elements which are present in the particular place. So the statement accessing of value of an element in the first row and third column of the number can arrays can be done like this. Like this, you can see is this syntax. So here you are giving initializing the integer array which of two dimensional, because we are having a comma in the square brackets, and you are having one element and one array and second array. So you can see this is a two dimensional array. The first array will be the first row and second array will be the second row. So they are telling like 0 comma 2, that means 0th row and second column. So 0th row will be this and the second column will be sorry, first row. So 0th row is nothing but the whatever the 0th row, and 2 will be the element. So element they are telling us 2. So now in this we are getting 2 answer. So whenever you visualize this kind of thing, you will understand 0 and 2. So 2 will be the answer. So columns also start from 0, right? So 0, 1, 2. This will be the column for the second one. So 0 through second column, 2 will be the answer here. Like that, you can try all the or to fetch all the examples. So to fetch all the numbers, you can try those examples also. So 0 comma, you can write 0 comma 0 to get the first element, to 0 comma 1 to get the second element. Similarly, you can use the same thing and you can change the whatever we have that is different is row here. So see, firstly you will get that whenever you change row here, so first will be the row of second array here. So whenever you change, like I can able to access all the elements through this thing. So see, first 0 comma 0 first element, and 0 comma 2 second element, 0 comma 2 third element, and 1 comma 0 3 6 8 you will get. So this is how we can access two dimensional arrays. So one thing which you have to remember is indexes which start from 0 and 1 2 3 so on will be incremented. So for in the case of columns also, it will start from 0th column, first column and second column likewise. So changing of elements in a columns also can be done, like how you are doing with the single dimensional array. So now you have set these things, right? So you can also set the value of this numbers of 0 comma 0 here as 2 value. So whenever you run that, here value is updated in this field, so you will get 2 value there as a first answer. Sorry, I have missed a colon. So whenever you are writing, you to use semicolon at the end in C sharp. Without that, you will get an error. So I have updated this first value as 2, so that whenever I print it in the next line, you will get updated value that is 2 there. So like this, you can change the elements of an 2D array here. Instead of 5, they are changing as 1. So in first element they have changing as 5, so we'll get 5 as an output. So looping of 2D array also can be done by using for each kind of looping. So here you can see integer a kind of array for each I in numbers. So you will get all the numbers one line by line. First you will get first row of elements, and second you will get second row of elements. You can use for loop also for multi-dimensional array. You don't need to loop one loop for each of kinds of array. So you can also have this get length method. So get length method we have, instead of length property, you can also use this get length. So it will tell you how many times you have to loop that particular array. So see, it will be easy for you when you use for each loop with the case of two dimensional array. So it will be somewhat clumsy or difficult when you go for looping. So you will see for each, so it will go to the int numbers. So it normally type of array and item and in numbers in that array name. So whenever you give I, it will directly take one by one. So first you will give you the first row elements, and then it will give the second row elements. This will be the order for that. So whenever you will use this for kind of looping, then you have to write two for loops. So instead of in one array we have to address second array. So for rows and columns it will give like that. So looping using for two-dimensional array is somewhat difficult to understand. So let's see, I will explain you once. So first we have to take I, which is can be called as rows. So we have to iterate rows first, and then the columns present in that rows. For I is equal to 0, get length of 0. So I plus plus, and next from j we have to get length of 1. So this get length of 1 or 0 is nothing but the first array on the second array likewise. So I'm just numbering 1 I comma j. So you can also use uh, length property also. Here you can see, instead of length we have to use get length. So this is two-dimensional array, right? So we have to use this thing. So it will tell you the first element and second element's length here. So like this you can iterate by using for looping. So it will be easy for you to, if you go with for each looping while you are using with multi-dimensional arrays. So that's all for this video. We have explained everything related to arrays in C Sharp, like how you can do manipulations to an array, how to change an element, how to delete an element, all these things we have seen. So all about arrays today's video. So in the next video we'll see methods and method parameters, method overloading, and also oops concept in upcoming videos. So until then, stay tuned to our channel and subscribe for many more videos like this. And also check out my playlist. There are so many videos like related to HTML, CSS, Java, JavaScript, and Angular, Azure. So just check out my videos. Any one of my video may help you to get the things better. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, give a big thumbs up below and share these videos to your friends and colleagues who are at learning stage of web development concepts. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel for many more videos like this. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.